welcome to Glenleathann, a new map by Cavalier Roy, which is coming soon. It's currently in internal testing with his play testers, and it's been a few map tours coming out recently. I have worked on a couple of features for this map, which I want to show off in particular and talk about and explain. And I'm also going to have a bit of a look around the map to show you guys if you haven't seen those, if you want a different perspective, that kind of thing. Currently, we are overlooking the starter farm. So I've started in New Farmer. When you start in New Farmer, you actually get quite a nice farm set up here. So decent number of fields, so 6, 7 fields. You'll also have cows, sheep, and horses, and it's quite a nice starter setup of equipment as well. So we've got pretty extensive array of equipment. We've got planters, seeder, cultivator. We've got baler over there. Probably better if we have a look in the store actually. So let's have a quick look. We've got a Massey Ferguson 6S, a Fendt Vario 314, really nice, and a John Deere 6250R, really nice set of tractors. Nice John Deere combine. We've got a pickup and header, the 2 headers for the combine, stone picker, mulcher, cultivator, subsoiler, seeder, planter, roller. You've got pretty much everything that you could want really. So if you start on here on New Farm, I've got a bale loader, very nice. Pretty much everything you could want to get started on a farm. So I think we'll have a fly around the map first, and then I'll talk in detail about some of the features that have been added to make this map feel more like a map that is set in Scotland. So let's have a look. So you've got plenty of fields on this map. Pretty standard feature of a Cavalier Roy map. There will be lots of fields. The most expensive is about 340,000. That is down at field 73. No, I think I've written down the wrong number. There we go. No, it's plot 73. So it's field 48. So that's 340-ish. And then some of the fields up here that you don't own yet are some of the cheaper ones at about 58, 60,000. So if you're familiar with a map like Maypole, the land on here is a little bit more expensive. It's actually set to the base game level, but coming from Maypole, it's quite a big step up in cost. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 farms on the map. They all have animals, which is kind of standard for Cavalier Roy. They all have pretty large capacities for the animals. So if you want to run a lot of animals, you can. There are some nicely integrated custom pastures. So for example, we've got the robot feeder here, and I know Cavalier Roy does his own nav meshes and support for grazing on his map. So that's really cool. So let's have a quick fly we'll have a look over the map. You can see the lovely rolling landscape. It really feels like, nice rolling hills. Feels quite Scottish. You're probably going to need a bit of extra horsepower to get around and do the jobs, a bit like Greenland's, I guess, in that respect. So there are plenty of productions and sell points built in to the map that you can make use of. I really like this area. The first time I flew around this map, I did what I'm going to show you now. Yeah, that's the map boundary. I think he's done a really nice job of integrating that into the game. The animal dealer is here, and that totally threw me when I was flying around this map for the first time. Over in the northeast corner, we have what I think is my favorite farm on the map. It's a nice small cow farm. So we've got a pasture there. We've got a silo. We've got fertilizer and herbicide tanks and things, which is really nice. We've got a bale store built into the map. Got a clamp built into the map, and all of these buildings are sellable as well if you want to customize it some more, which I think is really nice. I really like this yard. And then if we head down south, you can see we've got a BGA here. Always love a BGA. And then we have another farm over here, which has sheep, cows, and chickens. So you can see really nice rolling hills. Nice feature of Cavalier's maps as well is pretty much everything is joined up by farm tracks. There's a lot less roads and a lot more farm tracks. But again, another really nice yard. I really like this one. So a little animal pen down here as well. I suspect this is the chicken pen. Nothing like a professional map review. This is by this, and you'll see that yes, it is the chicken pen. Cool. So yeah, nicely integrated chicken pen there. And then if we head further south, we have another farm down this way, which has, trying to read my notes, chickens, pigs, cows, and sheep. Basically, loads of field space to work on. The hedges are removable, so if you want to integrate some of these fields and make really big fields, you can. You can remove all the hedges. You can see in the hedge here, there's these posts. If you cut the post down, the hedge disappears. Those are from Alien Gym. And then, yeah, another nice farmyard here. Every farmyard, and this is a real common feature of Cavalier Roy's maps, has pretty much everything you would need from the start to get going and have a good productive farm. I will then fly over here. I think this is the last one that we have not seen yet. I think this has chickens. This has all the animals, so chickens, pigs, cows, sheep, and horses. And each farm kind of has a nice cluster of fields around it as well. So it's probably a really nice multiplayer map. Again, another feature of Cavalier Roy's maps is they seem to be well set up for multiplayer. But yeah, another really nice yard there. Really like that one. So we'll just fly back up to the store and then we'll have a chat about some of the different stuff that's integrated into this map. I really appreciate Cavalier Roy sending me this early, having the opportunity to work with him on bringing new stuff, different stuff to, not necessarily different stuff to maps in FS22, so that the realism is just a little bit more. So first thing to have a look at is the Geo or growth calendar. So this is a custom growth calendar that has been set up to reflect planting and harvesting in Scotland. So you'll see it looks a little bit different. Some of the others, it's a little bit harsher intentionally. So, yep. Combined with the next bit I'm going to talk about, this is going to be a challenging map to play, but I think that's a good thing. You will notice that sugarcane and cotton are on there. That's just to give those that want to do all of the crops the option. Those are just set to base game level. Same with grapes and olives are there as well. Probably wouldn't be growing grapes or olives or cotton or sugarcane in Scotland generally. So that's that. Linked to that, actually, we'll go back into the menu, is weather. So most apps tend to use the base game weather. So that would be depending on which map they've used as a foundation. You know, so often you see a UK map and in the summer it's 35 degrees and in winter it's minus 20, which really doesn't happen. But what you'll see on here is that we have, it's summer now. It's about 20 degrees, probably a nice day in Scotland. It's Scotland, so there is some rain forecast. You will see in the summary forecast down here, there's a lot more rain. There's a lot more snow. The weather is quite variable. So you will find that the weather will change much more often in a day or a week compared to the base game setup. That's intentional. That's because it's Scotland. And if you don't like the weather in Scotland, just go back in a couple of hours and it'll be different. So if we skip ahead to September, you should see that we have a day where there's some quite variable weather forecast again. So because we're getting into autumn in how FS defines the game, then it's a lot cooler. You know, it's down at 9 degrees. There's a bit of rain in the forecast. There's a nice evening coming by the looks of it. So, yep, a lot more variable. You'll notice in the winter there's a lot of snow forecast. So you've got to bear that in mind. And I'll just jump ahead and show you a little bit of what the snow looks like. So in December now, you can see it's snowing pretty heavily. If we check the forecast again, it's about -4, -5, kind of typical winter temperatures. Going to be snowing all day. And if we switch back to the harvest calendar, you'll see that you could still be harvesting your potatoes and your sugar beet at this point. So that is, you know, something you've got to consider. You plant your crops late, the weather might not be in your favor. You've got to take that risk. And you can see through January and February, it's looking like that. And then spring better. But the weather generally should be pretty changeable. So I've skipped ahead a bit more time. It's now January, and you can see there is a nice covering of snow on the ground. So something you are going to have to work around. If you love your snow clearing, then you're going to be super sorted on this map with a snowy winter. So yep, that's the custom weather. Personally, I would suggest you want to play on sort of 3-day months, because there is a chance that you're going to have to make the decision to let crops wither or harvest them in the wrong weather. That's intentional. Cavalier Roy wanted this to be a challenging map to play, and that's part of it. So really, really pleased with the weather and the growth calendar. And now we're going to have a look at the last feature that I helped Cavalier Roy set up. So let's jump into a better time of the year and we'll have a look. Back up to the store, and it's August now, because being this time of year is the best way to show this off. What Cavalier Roy wanted and what I've enabled is this map has all custom contracting setups. So you won't find the big American trucks appearing in the contracting setups. You won't find big American combines appearing in the contracting setups. Everything is designed to reflect the fact that this is a map set in Scotland. So scrolling through the list, you'll see that we've got a harvesting setup, which has a nice sized New Holland combine, nice tractor, nice trailer. You'll see similar for the John Deere one. There are generally at least 2 different options per contract type and size, so there is plenty of variability, maybe not as much as you'd see in base game. If you enable the DLCs, then the DLC based contracting setups will appear as well, but mostly you should get these ones that have been created custom for the map. You'll see we've got a custom spraying setup, so we've got JCB and a pull behind Hardy fertilizer sprayer. So you'll see a lot more UK style tractors. Now please bear in mind these setups were put together by me. I am not a farmer. They may not be 100% accurate. The idea was that it was removing those big US style setups that you wouldn't have on a map in Scotland. So if we look at baling, for example, we've got a nice little setup here with a Valtra, nice pair of mowers, tedder, windrower, baler, autoloader. So, and then similar for silage, but nice Massey Ferguson, swathing mowers, baler, wrapper, autoloader. Nice little cultivating setup. So the fertilizing setups you'll see are, you know, there are only so many options in game, but it should all look more like it's set in the UK. So everything's been scaled appropriately. So if I just skip ahead a little bit more, we'll see some different things coming through. It's going to be dark. It's Scotland. It's early in the morning. So have another quick scan through, see if we've got any obviously different ones. So because I love Deutsch tractors, there are Deutsch tractors in the setups. You've got some root crop setups there. So we've got, let's say this one, you get 2 tractors. So you've got 1 tractor to run the harvester, 1 to do the carting. And actually, if I borrow the items for this one and skip ahead a bit of time so it becomes daylight, you'll see that let's put the torch on. So we've got nice Deutz Warrior there on chunky tires, and then this guy is on narrow tires because you need narrow tires for the harvester, otherwise you'll destroy crop if you have crop destruction on. So let's just return that one, and we'll have a look at some of the others maybe as they appear. So spraying, I have included the Bethune. I think it is self-propelled spray because they do have self-propelled sprays in the UK, but the Hardy is too big for the UK particularly. So that's in there. Let's have another quick look. I'm only going to do a couple more, and then I'll let you discover the rest for yourself. So there we go. John Deere with a slightly bigger cultivator, the little case tractor. There are some bigger setups for some things because some fields need bigger equipment, but generally everything's on the smaller side. So they're nice little corn harvesting setup with the Deutz top liner and header. And a slightly bigger corn harvesting setup there. A bigger potato harvester. So there are some of the bigger fields, you'll get the bigger kit. Hopefully that will get around the map okay. I'm just looking for some of the ploughing setups because they're quite cool as well. I quite like them. You know, I do love a ploughing contract, so I might be biased. So here we go, one of the bigger cultivating setups. So we've got an ART and a bigger K brand cultivator. So there is some big stuff in here. It's just mostly more the kind of medium size equipment, I guess. Nice sugar beet harvesting contract there. We do have these big sugar beet harvesters and potato harvesters in the UK, but they're not always appropriate, but they are sprinkled in. So you see the big potato harvester again. We're into April now, skipped through winter, and you can see we've now got some sowing contracts. So nice voucher with a K-branded pull behind seeder there. Massey Ferguson with the Lemkin planting setup, and then a T7 with the K-branded seeding setup. So yeah, I'm really excited for playing this map, if I'm honest. It's been really cool to be part of helping Cavalier Roy bring a couple of extra features to the map to make it feel more like the UK. Yeah, I'm really excited to get to playing this map at some point soon, hopefully. So it's not been submitted to ModHub yet. It will be for all platforms, but you're just going to have to be patient. If you are interested in seeing more of what the map looks like, Mr. Farouk and Virtual Farmer have both done their own map tours on this, and both of them, yeah, kind of went around the whole map looking at all the different bits. So feel free to go check them out. I probably am going to start playing on this map soon. So alternatively, keep an eye on the channel, subscribe if you aren't, and I'll start to show this map off very soon, I think, because it's really nice. I really like it. It turns out I really like the style of map that Cavalier Roy makes. Obviously, I've been playing on Maypole for a long time. I love that map. So I'm going to be playing this map. Pretty sure. I have a farm picked out. I have a plan. So yeah, if you want to see a bit more of this map as we as Roy gets it through testing and that kind of thing, then subscribe and come back and watch. And I think that's it. If you've got any questions about any of the bits that I've done or about the map, stick them below. If you think it's just awesome, just say that below. Be patient while you wait for it to get through testing, and I will see you next time.